All right, back to the middle. We're going to brush off those shoulders. All right, back to the middle. All right, now we're going to have arms down, all nice and loose, loose. And now take care of those shoulders. Rotate the shoulders. Let's make sure we continue. Our shoulders nice and stretched out. All right, now make sure to go the other way. Alternate direction. All right, back to the middle. All right, now we're going to do a little disco dancing. Rotate the forearms and pop one out. All right, back in the middle. All right, now we're going to do the swim. Swim, move the regular swim paddle. All right, now do backstroke. All right, back to the middle. All right, now we're going to do the doggy paddle. All right, it's a doggy paddle, or you can consider this the hand cycle. Hand cycle, doggy paddle, however you want to do it. All right, back to the middle. All right, now we're going to do those curls. Bicep curls, palm up. All right, now tricep, palm down. All right, now we're going to do that beer mug or shake two hammers. So whatever you prefer, 2 beer mugs, 2 hammers, your choice. Hammer style. All right, back in the middle. Shake in the middle. All right, now we're going to do patty cake. Patty cake, baker's name. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Roll it, toss it up high, throw it in the oven for everyone and I don't know. All right, here we go, patty cake. All right, back in the middle. All right, now we're going to do the wave. We're out at our favorite sporting event, creating energy for our home team. Here we go. All right, now we're going to do halfway around the world, halfway up and back down. Welcome, Thema. All right, now the other way, halfway up, back down. All right, we got about 4 more minutes. Then we're going to do the On the Mark program. 7 minutes. All right, back in the middle. Now we're going to start that lawnmower. It's lawn mowing season. All right, now the other arm. All right, now here we go. We're going to push those handles. Push more, push the handlebar of the push more. Let's mow some lawn. Okay, back to the middle. Now we're going to do short and choppy. Here we go, short and choppy mashed potato. All right, now we're going to go a little bit more wild. Let's do the monkey, everybody. Here we go, getting everybody going on a Sunday. All right. All right, now we're going to get even a little bit more crazy. The Carlton. All right, back in the middle. All right, now we do core to the floor, from the belly to the smelly. Here we go. Get the bottoms of your feet, get your toes, get your heels, get your knees, get that stomach. You can even do twists. Twist side to side. Let's get that whole lower half nice and loose. Do some squats. Calf raises. You can do high steps. Massage those quadriceps. Take care of the legs any way you can. Do lunges. All right, that's good, folks. Back to the middle. All right, now we're all loosened up, ready for some sports. We're going to start with tennis. We're at Wimbledon. Throw the tennis ball up over the net. Or you can think of volleyball. Take your pick. It can either be a volleyball serve or a tennis serve. All right, other way, other arm. All right, back to the middle. All right, we're going to continue with tennis. We're going to do backhand and regular tennis return hits. Here we go. Backhand and regular forward shot across that tennis net. All right, now the other arm. The racket goes in the other arm now. Switch it up. All right, here we go. We're going to go back to volleyball. We're going to do a bump, a set, and a spike. Here we go. A bump, a set, and a spike. Bump, set, spike. All right, now the spike is with the other arm. So you're going to do bump, set, spike with the other arm. Bump, set, spike. Bump, set, spike. One more time. One more. Set, spike. All right, back to the middle, back to the middle. Oh, I'm losing track of what I want to do here. Here we go. Let's do some pull-ins. Arms straight out and just pull in. Arms straight out, just pull in. It's basically hands forward and backwards. All right, shake in the middle. All right, now we're going to do the Suraska, blowing the kisses. Okay, back in the middle. Now we're going to do the Chris Straheim. We're going to do the wax on, wax off. You're going to do wax on and wax off with one hand before you go to the others, and you do wax on, wax off with both. Both directions with the one hand, then go to the other. Okay, back to the middle. And now it's time for wings. There we go. Finishing up with wings, getting ready to fly away. There we go. Almost like standing up snow angels. All right, back to the middle, folks. It is time for me to cover Mark with the On Your Mark program. So he gave me all the notes. So sound all polished and like I know what I'm talking about because Mark gave me all of the notes. Here we go. So Palm Sunday, at the beginning of Holy Week, Passover or the Feast of Unleavened Bread. April 13th, FND Awareness Day aims to promote awareness, support, and patience, and advance research for the prevention as well as treatment for functional neurological disorder, FND. The second most prevalent neurological diagnosis. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and author of Declaration of Independence, born on this day in 1743. National Borinqueniers Day. Borinqueniers are also known as the 65th Infantry Regiment. They were Puerto Rican soldiers who bravely fought on the battlefield in the Korean War and also fought discrimination among their fellow soldiers as well. International Special Librarians Day highlights the importance of librarians who provide access to specialized information in various areas such as science, medicine, law, engineering, business, and many others. International Plant Appreciation Day discusses the myriad benefits plants provide to the environment, such as improving air quality, creating small wildlife habitats, and making dwellings more visually appealing. Furthermore, this day occurs in spring which is the prime tree and plant growing season. National Scrabble Day. One of the world's most ironic board games. April 13th is the day Scrabble inventor Alfred Masher Butts was born. Just bear with me here. I'm just pinning this on my side here. My notes went away here. Here we go. We got it back. National Make Lunch Count Day. Ooh, just in time for us here. Let's not make a habit of skipping lunch. Whether you have a salad, a sandwich, or a smoothie, make sure you get that fuel boost. National Peach Cobbler Day. National Silly Earring Day. Silly earrings are a terrific way to express yourself while putting a smile on everyone's face. Wear googly-eyed hot dogs, big disco balls, pizzas, whatever you want. Your imagination is the only limit. Musicians pictured with birthdays today. We have 1951, Peabo Bryson, American R&B, soul, and pop vocalist. Tonight, I celebrate my love to you. A Whole New World, born in Greenville, South Carolina. Al Green, 79 years old, 1946 American soul singer. Let's Stay Together. Love and Happiness. Born in Forest City, Arkansas. Birthdays of musicians not pictured. 1919, Harold Howard Keel, American actor, singer, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, Kiss Me Kate, and president of the Screen Actors Guild, 1958 to 59, born in Gillespie, Illinois. And let's see here. Howard Keel died in 2004. 1947, Mike Chapman, Australian-American pop songwriter and record producer with Andy Chin, Sweet, The Ballroom Blitz, Tony Basil, Mickey, born in Nambour, Australia. 1948, Peter Swavel, American rock bassist, Looking Glass, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl, born in Toms River, New Jersey, died 1990. 1954, Jimmy Destry, American rock keyboardist and songwriter, Blondie, Heart of Glass, born in Brooklyn, New York. 1961, Clarence Butch Taylor, American rock and jazz keyboardist and composer, Dave Matthews Band, 1998-2008, born in Shawsville, Virginia. On this day in history, 1869, the first U.S. patent, number 88929, for an air brake was issued to George Westinghouse of Schenectady, New York. 1902, James C. Penney, now Penny's, opened his first store in Kemmerer, Wyoming. 1943, the Jefferson Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. 1970, an oxygen tank exploded on Apollo 13, but everyone survived. It was also the major plot for the 1995 film Apollo 13. 1964, Sidney Poitier became the first African-American male to win the Best Actor award for the 1963 film Lilies of the Field. 1976, the United States Treasury Department reintroduced the $2 bill as a Federal Reserve note. 1997, Tiger Woods became the youngest golfer to win the Masters tournament. Your fact of the day coincides with this day in history. On April 13, 1360, known as Black Monday, a hailstorm killed 1,000 English soldiers and 6,000 horses. Edward III, fearing it is a sign from God, paused the 100 Years' War. Wow, you are now smarter today. Thank you, Mark Laufenberg, for supplying that educational experience of Shakedown. I call at least, on the mark. All right, folks. So our announcements are, pardon me. All right, so the announcements are that at 3:00 today, we have Lisa Sherrill is going to be providing us Essential Wealth and Health Solutions podcast live stream. And then at 4:00, we have our very own Tim Tarosian doing Blue Collar Crypto. And at 5:30, Tim comes back for another Blue Collar Crypto show co-hosted by he and his buddy, or our buddy, Neil Weber at 5:30 today. So, and then at 6:00, we got Rich Trigger Bontrager provides us Rock the Stage. On Mondays, we do Project Die Hard, Mission Monday. Tuesdays is Aspie Bridge Podcast and World of Pets. Wednesdays is we're staying tuned. Someday we'll resume the Mastery of Connections. That's on a pause right now. But following that, we do have Who Cares by Cares Foundation. And then we have at 7:15 or 7:30 Central, we have Sue is on with Ability MK Now. And following that is the TDC Today Community Show. The first Thursday of every month. So we're going to be waiting until May 1st. We'll have World of Wealth. Fridays is we have Platinum Mindset TV at 11. And at 4, we have Revolutionize Your Marketing. And on April 25th, we'll be having on Friday the 25th, we'll be Paige Spears, Choose Greater Health. And then Saturdays, we always do World of Ability. And the first Saturday of every month is, that is CC Carr, bringing us Ability Now. So with that, it's time for pictures. So time to have your accountability on brushing your teeth. So here we go. Let's get those smiles out. Smile for the camera. All right. Remember, I'm using, I can tell you I'm using Sue's computer. So it may take me a little bit to capture this picture. But let's get smiling. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it together. Here we go. Here's the look. And I believe let's check it out. I'll put it in the chat. Let's see here. Control V. Yep. I got a good one, folks. So that we'll see you tomorrow. Same Shakedown time, same Shakedown channel. Back to you. All right. Now it's